Schön, dass ihr wieder dabei seid. Hier ist TechJeck wieder mit einer internationalen Folge. Mit Morgan und David haben wir ja schon mal den Flug über den großen Teich gewagt in die Vereinigten Staaten und das machen wir heute wieder. Und deswegen switchen wir jetzt direkt ins Englische. Yes, we've developed this TechJeck talk to provide insights into inspiring projects, interesting technical solutions, and to discuss future-oriented issues as well. And just in case you're wondering what is Jeck, then here comes the explanation. Due to the fact that we are a Cologne-based company, we refer to our local tradition, TechJeck. Jeck is local and means crazy in various meanings. So let's say crazy for technical challenges. Managing the increasing complexity of topics, people involved, distances, and technical infrastructure is a big challenge for all media and video experts. Make things easier is the demand, but what does that mean for technical systems, for consultants, for workflow designs, and for automation? Technology is not the solution. A holistic approach to workflow solutions, that's our headline today. And now we're talking to Ben Kilburg, Senior Account Executive. Thank you for joining us, Ben. How are you?
Good, Markus. How about yourself?
Thank you. Fine. And our second guest today is Jason Whetstone, Senior Workflow Engineer. A warm welcome, Jason.
Thank you, Markus. It's great to be here.
By the way, Chesa is a partner of MoovIT in the United States. Expert for systems integration in media supply chain. That's probably the best way to describe the field of your work. MoovIT and Chesa are collaborating to market Helmut, the project management software for Adobe Premiere Pro.
Let's start with you, Ben. Can you give us an insight into the most important current issues in the media landscape? What and who are the drivers from your point of view?
I mean, I think the drivers are always kind of time and space, right? It's the creators of the media and the consumers of the media and where the media lives and how you access it. So as we've kind of proliferated all of these amazing tools, right? And my phone will shoot ProRes now. It has 3 lenses on it. So it's just astounding to see how many people are kind of creating meaningful material in this age, kind of a golden age of media, right? So for us, it's really, how are we helping and connecting these people as they do what they do?
Interesting points, which we will also deepen in a moment. Now we bring Jason into the conversation. Jason, what challenges and opportunities do you realize for system integrators like Chesa?
So there's a lot of challenges. One is that there's so many different varying needs, and there's so many different varying solutions and ways to accomplish and solve those problems. Media professionals don't really want to think about how it all works together. They have their deliveries, and they want to create, and they've got a lot of different hardware and software vendors contacting them and telling them that their products will solve all their problems. So that creates an opportunity for integrators to help understand the problems better, so they know which technologies can help solve their problems and help them understand how technology fits into their workflow. So another challenge would be that technology's focused a lot on automating tasks away before the humans understand what tasks need to be completed. So there's kind of, I think we've seen a disconnect between the tasks and the technology, and we know that technology can help and that it's part of the solution, but we're not really sure where it fits and what can be automated because we don't understand the tools, and sometimes we don't even fully understand the problem. So that's another opportunity that we integrators can help with, is to help customers understand their problems. So we at Chesa call that approach workflow therapy. It's almost like we're bringing our customers into a therapist's office and sort of talking to them about the problem and offering them some insights into their own problems so that we can help them solve them.
Ben, what is the secret of Chesa's success? Which customer groups are in the portfolio and what are their main themes?
it's really hard to codify what, why we've been successful as an organization. But I mean, I think I can tell you why I've been here for 15 years, right? Chess is an organization full of really talented, creative people who are very interested in helping others, right? And like my friend Jason here, who's always lent a hand when I've had questions or worked, side by side, both creating cool media and helping others create cool media. So, um, just having and working in this nice niche of really interesting problems to solve, like Jason has been explaining with, you know, media asset management technology and storage technology. And um, we've just kind of found a really good place to work in. In terms of who we work with, it really spans the gamut there as well. So, um, big production studios, all the way down to, people who are, kind of working in their bedroom, who might be new to the act of media creation. So we got our start as a company as a kind of an Apple systems, uh, an, an Apple value added reseller way back in the day, which was probably 20 some odd years ago. So from there, the business has really grown out from every way you use creative technology. And we work with universities and house of worship and just about everybody that I can think of.
The Adobe world is where creative users meet. What mainly distinguishes Adobe from other video editing platforms, Jason? And what practical impacts does this have for realizing new workflow solutions?
So we find that Adobe's been open to working with integrators like Chesa and MoovIT, and that's been great. I mean, that openness is really essential to really helping the customers the best we can. Our customers that use Adobe, we're kind of like a go-between between them and Adobe, so that's fantastic. We've got the video partner program, which we are a part of at Chesa. That's been really great. That's given us access to some team members at Adobe that we find to be great to work with. Adobe is a widely accessible and available platform. It's all you really need is a workstation and a Creative Cloud subscription, and your talents. And the fact that the fact that a platform like Helmet 4 can exist and be successful in the industry really shows how well the partnership program can work.
Technical development is sometimes faster than the need perceived by the customer. Then the offer drives the development. But it can also be the other way around, in which case customer requirements accelerate product development. The discussion about the integration of AI show examples for both approaches. What does this mean for concrete advice on workflow solutions?
Whew, that's a huge question, right? I think people are just, no. I mean, AI has been here with us, or machine learning, I should say, because I don't think we're quite there from a bottom-up artificial intelligence yet who can speak with us as we expect to converse. And, some have passed the Turing test, but we'll see. Who knows what lurks out there in the depths of the interwebs. But anyway, in terms of how folks are using the existing technology to speed up their workflow, I mean, we see things like the adoption of speech to text, which is a really great way to enrich your metadata with all of the information and text that might be available within the videos that you're working with. The other side of that is obviously having too much metadata, right? And then parsing that and understanding what is all there and trying to sort out what makes the most sense to use, and does it really help you find things faster? That's the real question. So I think it's really it's always good to have more information, but sorting through it and making sure that folks gain access to it easily without having to jump over the hurdles of really trying to understand the technology themselves. Being able to put it in front of people in a meaningful way that is easy to use is the real challenge, right?
Jason, let's do a concrete example. The Helmut tool is the solution for the efficient management of editing projects in professional video production environments in which Adobe products are used. Helmut automates many of the user's editing steps in post-production and frees up space for creative work. Are the customers aware of this?
Well, I hope they are, because if they ever have to do without those automations, they'll definitely be aware of it. Yeah, I mean, I feel like what we can do in terms of, I like to be careful with the language of like, oh, it's going to save you so much time. It will inevitably save you time because of the efficiency that you'll gain, and I would say like the avoidance of mistakes and adherence to guidelines, things like that. Helmet 4 has so many great tools for guiding the users to doing the right things and preventing them from doing things they shouldn't be doing. So that's really great. So where I see the value there is that, like many automation platforms, it's automating tasks that they don't really want to do. They don't want to transcode videos or upload videos to some distribution platform. They want to edit and they want to say make it so and have the robots do all the rest, which is really what Helmet 4 is great at. So it's good at sort of producing those repeatable tasks, tasks that we can predict over and over again. And again, in terms of whether the users or the customers are aware, my solid belief about automation is that the customer should understand what all the steps are. They should be able to do everything that the automation is doing manually, so that if something goes wrong, we're not relying on that platform to come back up to make our delivery, right? So that's why I always feel it's very important for the humans to understand what the technology is doing, and that's what goes back to the technology is not necessarily the solution. The business process, the overall or overarching solution is a combination of human tasks and workflow automation.
Enterprise solutions and collaborative working have gained enormously in importance in recent years. With Acorn, Chesa has created a platform that takes up and supports this development. Ben, can you give us an example?
Yeah, I mean, with what we've been working towards with Acorn, the ability to spin up a full production environment in a very short period of time, that helps customers both have a place to work, have somewhere to search, make sure that their work is being backed up to another medium. And all of the things that we would expect people to be doing on a regular basis and hope and kind of guide them towards. That's really kind of what our goal has been with Acorn, is to really kind of put that all together in a useful package that is really easy and quick to spin up and hopefully really easy to maintain. The other side of that really has been making sure, like Jason has been saying, that we're taking care of the human side of things. So one of the things that Chesa does a lot of is support. We've got a huge group of engineers. Most of our staff at Chesa is engineers. And so support is a really big business, and it's really important to drive customer success through making sure, like Jason has been saying, that we know that they know how to use the tools that are provided to them to the best of their ability. And so with that, that's why we've coupled a support level agreement along with Acorn, so that folks can really have everything that they need to get their work done and to be supported during the process.
I can speak to that a little bit too. Really just to add some color to what Ben is saying. Acorn is really a starting point for a cloud-based deployment of media production tools. So you have MAM, you have some workflow automation, you have archive storage, and it's designed so that we can streamline the deployment, like Ben said, and bring a system up very quickly. But also having this standardized deployment of workflow tools and media tools also helps us. It helps us to be able to support the customer better. So we don't have 10 engineers doing 10 different deployments in 10 different ways. We have the one deployment we do, and that's that gives you, like I said, a starting point. So instead of having to set up the MAM to generate proxies and do a certain type of ingest and all that kind of stuff, a lot of that stuff is already defined. Now, that's not to say it can't be tweaked later, but again, it's a starting point. And when we turn on an Acorn account, we can start ingesting media right away. Proxies will be generated, all that kind of stuff, within 15 minutes of spinning up the environment. So that's really great for rapid deployment, supportability. Single pane of glass for supportability. That's how we're running with it.
And now it's about NAB. NAB in Las Vegas is the world's largest electronic media show. It starts in mid-April. Media, entertainment, and broadcasting professionals will present their latest solutions, network, and share industry insights with great visitors looking to create new audio and visual experiences. Jason, of course, you are in. What are your expectations for the upcoming NAB?
I will answer for myself, but I also want to hear what Ben has to say as well. But for me, I usually like going to trade shows like NAB to talk to other engineers and talk to folks that are in engineering departments, because I always want to know how the products actually work. We see a lot of sales demos and a lot of, I don't want to say vaporware. We see a lot of good intentions in NAB for what we're going to see in the coming year. I really want to know, how do these products work? Because at the end of the day, my team is going to be responsible for getting up in front of the customers and kind of working through the nuts and bolts with them. So that's what's important to me. So it's useful to see also just what everybody's excited about and talking about, so we know what's coming up for the next year or 2 years.
To you, Ben, for all media people, the NAB is a big deal. Are you excited too? What are your expectations for the NAB this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a good time. I mean, it's a slog through the desert for a week, where you're staying up too late, perhaps imbibing too much, and trying to maintain your health and well-being. But it's always great to see your friends that you haven't seen for a year, right? To see all sorts of fantastic people and technology from around the world, and the latest, greatest toys, and newest development, because usually, it's one of the places where we get to see what people have been working on.
Thank you for the moment. And now we come to a tradition here at TechJeck. Ben and Jason, we are on the home stretch of today's TechJeck, and at this point of the show, we toast each other with a beer, a very special beer in a MoovIT glass. Do you have your MoovIT glass with you?
We sure do.
We do. Yep.
And which type of beer you have, Jason?
This is a Oscar Blues lager. Oscar Blues is a brewery that I'm trying to think where it is in the States. I'll figure that out in a second. But I really like their beer. I always have. It's very unique.
And Ben, what do you have in your glass?
Oh, this is the Pilsner we were just discussing. So this is the Peabody Heights, which is from Baltimore. Fantastic.
Jason and Ben, cheers or Prost, as we say in Germany.
Prost.
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 Ben, last question. What do you think? Is vision and reality close when we talk about perfect workflow solutions, or do we have still a long way to go?
Any workflow solution is a living and breathing entity that needs, just like humans, always constant care and feeding, right? there's always going to be tweaks that need to be made. Somebody always releases a cool new thing that, oh, can we add this so it can do that? So we're never going to be there. It's always going to be evolving.
Yeah, good point. Many thanks for the entertaining conversation to Ben Kilburg and Jason Whetstone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Markus.
Thanks for having us, Markus.
It only remains for me to invite everyone to a real Kölsch in Cologne. But first, let's meet at NAB. MoovIT is partnering with Willi Spine at booth W2226. Thank you for your interest and see you soon.